My entitled girlfriend suddenly decided she wanted to experience other men and broke up with me, so I left her stranded. Before breaking up last Wednesday, my girlfriend and I had been together for just over 3 years. Up until this past August, she lived in Georgia, about 2 hours away from where I was living in South Carolina. In August, she moved up to New York for graduate school, and in order to be closer to her, I found a job and moved to DC. Things had been a bit rough in the months leading up to August, and the stress of moving and starting grad school and a new job certainly didn't help things. Given the rough few months we had had, she was left questioning whether or not she still wanted to be in a relationship with me. She voiced her uncertainty to me on the phone last Monday and expressed to me that she had a strong desire to go out and have some experiences with other men, to go on dates and see what else was out there. I told her this wasn't at all what I wanted, that I wanted to work through these hard times together. She responded by saying if she didn't go out and have these experiences, even if things improved, she would always regret it, and that's where we left things. When we spoke the next day, she had decided she wanted to come down to SC and spend a few days with me for Thanksgiving break, before returning home to visit her family. There was one catch though. On Friday the 17th, I was going to have to drive 2 hours from my home in SC to pick her up from the airport in NC, and then 2 hours back. The following Monday, I would have to drive her 2 hours from home to take her to Georgia to be with her family, and 2 hours back. Then, Sunday after Thanksgiving, I'd have to go 2 hours out of my way and pick her up in Georgia, and then have her ride with me all the way back to DC, where she would fly out to New York. At this point, I voiced my confusion given the conversation from the previous day. She said she thought one positive experience together could really turn things around, and that she wanted to give it a shot. She had the flight up and ready to book, and there was only one seat left, so despite my voicing my desire to talk things out first, she went ahead and booked it. The next day, I tried to talk to her about her desire to date other men and about how we could improve our relationship and work through the rough times we had been having, but it ultimately led to her breaking up with me. Since then, we haven't had all that much communication. She has ignored most of my texts, and the ones she has responded to, she's been rather rude and mean. I pointed this out, and her response was, "It's unreasonable of you to expect us to be friendly right now. It's too soon," which, honestly, I understand. She's right. Then, she texts me and tells me that she still needs me to pick her up and take her home, and that she still needs to ride with me back to DC. She doesn't have the money to change her flight, and she doesn't have anyone else to pick her up. I told her I didn't feel I owed her that, as she broke up with me. She pointed out that I had committed to coming, which I most certainly had. I asked her if I was willing to come, if she would be able to set aside her anger for a few hours and be friendly, and she said she would do her best to be cordial, but being friendly was too much to ask. She said she would sit in the back and work the whole ride. My question is, do I still owe it to her to go and pick her up? Would it be selfish of me to tell her she needed to work this out on her own? I really don't want to leave her stranded, but I don't feel this is really my responsibility anymore. What do I do here? Update. I had pretty much decided not to pick her up prior to seeing all of your replies, and reading through them has solidified my decision. I just texted her saying, given the fact that you just broke up with me, and that in your own words, it's too early to expect to be friendly with one another, I'm not okay with coming to pick you up on Friday, or taking you to DC on Sunday. Sitting in a car with you for 20+ hours, when you can't even be friendly with me, will only make it harder for me to recover from this breakup, and I'm not willing to do that to myself. I hope you are able to find another way home, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. Sorry for any inconvenience this causes. Best of luck to you.